All right, well, welcome everybody. I'm so sorry about the delay. We're getting started about 8 minutes late here. We had some technical difficulties with getting this Zoom up and running. But thank you guys so much for being on with us today. We are so excited right now with so much going on leading into the end of this month. Happy Tuesday, absolutely. Comment actually where you guys are tuning in from. Drop the state below in the comments where you guys are joining us from. We have a lot to cover today, a lot that's happening right now on LifeVantage, and a lot to be aware of in terms of wrapping up March. We are, oh my gosh, 6 days out from closing this month, and so much that you guys have to take advantage of and be aware of leading into our biggest month of the year. Love it, Alice Baugh, tuning in from Utah. Which is April, and our biggest event of the year, which is Global Convention. So really excited for that and excited to see you guys that are making it out here to Utah, and appreciate all of you guys that joined. But we're going to roll into it because I know that we're a little late today getting to start, but wanted to just cover some housekeeping items. And again, things to be aware of right now as we lead into the end of this month. There's a lot that's wrapping up in the month of March, and a lot that you guys have to take advantage of. So I'm going to share my screen here and we'll get rolling. All right. Perfect. Well, jumping in, those of you that haven't had an opportunity to meet me and I haven't had an opportunity to meet you, I am Victor Tafoya. I'm one of our US sales directors here at LifeVantage. And honestly, could not be more excited for everything that we have leading into April. This will be my first global convention I get to attend. And first convention ever actually that I've attended. I've been here about a month and a half and really excited to meet a lot of you guys in person. So wanted to cover, again, just proper disclosures, making sure that you guys are aware that anything disclosed, it's not a guarantee, and all of it is based on your individual effort and your work that you put into your business. And that goes into the earnings disclosed on the call, or anything, again, that we cover is not promised. It's all based on your individual effort and your work that you put into your business. So how many of you guys are excited about our doubler that just started on the 15th of March? So this is going to be taking you back, those of you that are existing and outside of your launch period, to getting your doubling of the sharing bonus starting in April. So how do you qualify for that? And first, let's cover what is the sharing bonus. So you're going to get 10% when you bring in and sponsor and enroll a new consultant. And then within that new consultant's enrollment month, so you're getting 10% for that new consultant you're bringing on if you're outside of the launch period, and then 10% for all of the customers that they bring on within their first enrollment month. So now taking that, going back to what is the launch period when you first get started, it's actually a doubling of that. So you get 20% for new consultants that you're signing up, but also those that they effectively enroll and sponsor in their first month. You're also getting a doubling of that commission as well. So definitely don't want to miss out on this. It's going to be a massive opportunity for you guys to take advantage of, not just leading into convention, which there's so much excitement right now in the field, and what we're going to be launching, rolling out, and a lot of that momentum carrying forward into the months of May and June. So being able to qualify for that incentive, what it looks like is enrolling or selling at least 300 SV in new customers or consultants to be eligible for the doubling. So that doubling effectively starts in April, May, and June. So those 3 months, you guys are going to capitalize on a doubling of your sharing bonus. If you guys, through the end of this month, through the end of March, qualify with your 300 new SV that you guys go out and sell to new customers and consultants. So again, make sure that you do not miss out on this. It is a big deal, and want to make sure that all of you guys get to capitalize on this, carrying you forward through convention and into May and June. So Town Hall, I hope you guys were on Town Hall. If not, you definitely missed some solid content. Drop a comment below if you guys joined Town Hall, if you guys were part of it, if you guys were listening in. Such great information in regards to how to win with mind body. And a lot of what was covered is really, as you go through the process of starting the mind body product, how do I position myself in my changes that I need to make personally and setting myself up for the greatest possible product experience that I can have with mind body? and our MB Enhance and Core. So a lot of those lifestyle changes, a lot of those micro changes, I like to call them. You have your micro and your macro. So those small changes that I can effectively start to implement that are really going to amplify my results in the long term on the macro scale of really winning with this product. So what does that look like? How are others doing it? Phenomenal content, some positioning, language that you can use with your new people, and some new assets. So go check it out. It's in the hub. So hub.lifevantage.com. You guys can get all the information, including the call recording that's going to be loaded there, and some incredible assets that go along with it to really simplify things as you guys go out and share this product, introduce it to new people, and make sure that you're setting them up for success from just the very start, but also in the long term as they stick and stay with the product. So great information. Make sure that you guys go check it out. So next, massive announcement, and these are rolling out. Again, starting April 1st, stock up and save before the pricing changes. And this is going to be our Axio stick packs, the lemonade stick packs that are going to be coming out. You guys will see down below the current Axio pricing and then the new Axio stick pack pricing that you guys will be paying after April 1st. Again, when all of those pricing changes are going to go into effect, or when that does hit, make sure that you guys are stocking up now before those hit. But also, how convenient is that? It's again a stick pack on the go. You guys can have that to sample, have that to share with friends and family. I keep some of it in the car. Again, needing a quick extra boost. I have a 2-year-old, so definitely needing those before we go hit the playground. But loving the convenience of those stick packs and having them just on the go. So make sure that you guys are aware of that happening April 1st, but also stocking up on those current Axio tubs that you guys currently have available to you at the consultant price of $55.19, or the subscription price for customers $62.09. So make sure you're taking advantage and that you guys are aware that's coming. So leading into what's upcoming with our events. So again, global convention. If you guys aren't currently registered, I'm not sure what you're doing. This is going to be definitely the greatest, and you're going to hear some of this also from our incredible speaker that we have on today, which is our EC2, Becky Taylor. But some of the life-changing moments that happen at convention, being present for in-person events like this, we'll get into some of that discussion with Becky, but leaders truly are born at events. You guys need to be here. You guys need to be in Salt Lake City during the 24th through the 26th. So get registered and signed up if you haven't yet. Coming right out of that, we actually have the Activate virtual event. It's going to be happening in July. So I want to make sure that you guys are staying tuned and keeping an eye out for all the information that comes surrounding that virtual event. We have our incentive trip that's taking place, which is our Alaska cruise incentive. Again, this is the last month that you can qualify for that incentive, making sure that you guys are capitalizing on everything that we have to offer. I'm not going to say it now because I might get fired, but you guys definitely need to be on our close of month call tonight. I cannot stress this enough when I say you have so much at your disposal to close the month out on such a strong note. You have to be on that call. You do not want to miss on some announcements that are going to take place, some information that's going to be shared by our senior director, Skylar Fobbs. You guys have to be there. Again, I wish I could tell you, I can't, but definitely be on that call because you guys will not want to miss what we're going to roll out. And all of that's going to aid and help you guys in everything that's currently happening and closing the month out with qualifications for a lot of the incentives and all of the incentives that are happening now. But again, specifically with that August incentive trip, the dates, the 9th through the 16th, going to Alaska for those that qualify for the cruise. We still have September, our growth summit taking place from the 12th through the 14th, which is going to be a phenomenal time. Cannot wait for those that qualify. And we actually have our growth summit coming out of convention that Sunday. So following our convention on the 24th through the 26th, we roll straight into growth summit for those that qualified and are going to be out here to close the month out of April with us in that incredible few days that we get to spend here together, just soaking up information, knowledge, insight, wisdom from leaders, and also honestly just kind of prepping for what's next for those that did make the cut and made the qualifications. So if you didn't, make sure that you requalify and you get qualified for a September event. So we have our October event that's going to be taking place. So this is the Race into the Future Momentum Academy on the 24th and the 25th in Dallas, Texas. So again, keep an eye out. Make sure that you guys are aware of all the information coming out there to stay tuned on making sure you can join us there as well. It's going to be an incredible event. You guys definitely don't want to miss. So moving right along into our Drive Era incentives. So again, January through March, we have 6 days left to close this out. And we have a lot of great things that you guys get to qualify for. If you close out on a really high note and hit your qualifications for these incentives, you get to capitalize on for our Drive Era incentive, Driver's Lounge and the Breakfast in Blue for those that hit 18 tracks or more. You guys get exclusive access to our Driver's Lounge. It's going to be taking place at convention. So some information on that. It's going to be open from 12 to 2 and 5 to 6 p.m. on both Friday and Saturday for those that qualify. We're going to have a custom hat bar, so you guys will be able to come in, make some custom hats. We'll have some custom patches that you get to throw on there, exclusive photo ops, some incredibly soft seating, charging stations for you guys, some products to get you again, recouped for the next session and what you guys have to take advantage of and listen into at convention and experience and be part of. We'll also have some snacks and drinks, some music going, and a lot of us from the sales team will be popping in and out, and some executives will be popping in and out to come and say hi to you guys and get some one-on-one time with those that qualify. So definitely make sure that you guys hit those 18 tracks, and those that are shooting for the Breakfast in Blue, you again, Breakfast in Blue has changed a little bit in terms of the marketing. We can't say the actual name, but we will be having breakfast at Tiffany's for those that qualify with 25 tracks, and you will get the $1,000 gift card to go and spend at Tiffany's with an exclusive shopping experience for you guys, which is going to be phenomenal. So make sure that you guys are taking a minute, recalibrating, kind of reverse engineering where you're currently at. If you are shooting for this, which I hope you are, you should be. And making sure that you guys do what you can to close the gap and making that incentive and being part of that incredible experience that we're going to be sharing together. So space is limited, so it's only up to the first 70 qualifiers, and after the first 70, you'll receive a gift card and access to the Driver's Lounge at convention. But again, make sure you want to be one of those first 70 that qualify for it, so take advantage. So we talked a little bit about this, the Growth Summit that's taking place in September, and that is going to be your qualifications for that. You have January through June to qualify for it. So maintaining paid as MC1, and these are first-time qualifiers. So hitting MC1 and maintaining that for 3 consecutive months. And again, that must be completed within 3 full qualification periods after advancing to MC1. So hitting MC1 and then maintaining for 3 months. And then also maintaining a paid as SC3 rank or above until the month of the trip. So definitely doable. You guys have through June to hit this. So make sure that you guys are pushing to hit MC1 and then hitting those 3 consecutive months to qualify in, and take advantage of it. So push for March. We have a lot that you guys have to take advantage of to get there and hitting MC1, and then a lot to sustain that coming into convention and out of convention, for you guys to maintain that MC1 rank and qualifying for it. So global convention, cannot stress it enough. You guys have to be there. You can scan this QR code, go to the hub. There's so much information here on the global convention page. One, to get registered, but also just what information that you guys would need at your fingertips and at your disposal to know everything that's happening there, from agenda, the breakdown, the timings of the sessions, and a lot of what's taking place. So you guys can visit that page, share it with your friends and family, share it with those on your team that haven't registered yet, to make sure that they don't miss out. So quickly going through and touching on our keynote speaker, which is going to be Kelly Girardi, and she's going to be joining us at Global Convention. So a little bit about her. She's an astronaut, a mom, bioastronautics researcher, popular science communicator who serves as a director of human spaceflight operations for the International Institute for Aeronautical Sciences, IAS. So that is a massive, again, some of that I'm not going to shy away from not knowing what that really means. I know it's really important. I know it's incredible, and it's a huge accomplishment. She has some incredible experience that she's going to glean from all of her, again, these incredible qualifications that she's gotten up to now, her accomplishments of where she's made it to in her career, and all of her involvement in being the director of human spaceflight operations. I mean, it's someone that you want to hear from. So make sure that you guys are there. You guys are going to get an opportunity to hear from her at Global Convention as her keynote. So definitely make sure that you're there in attendance and don't miss out. Singers are wanted. So I know a few of you have submitted this, but your audition submissions were open from March 17th to the end of this month. So the 31st is when you have to actually get your submissions in. If you guys do want to be a singer at convention, make sure that you guys are submitting those and making sure that those are turned into us by the end of this month so you don't miss out. And then last but not least is going to be our last month being March for month of recognition qualification for convention. So if you want to walk the stage, you want to be recognized at convention for all of your accomplishments, for that hard work, make sure that you guys are qualifying in the month of March for that new rank so that we can recognize you on that global stage at Global Convention this coming April and next month. So make sure that you guys are aware, don't miss out. And I feel like I've talked way too much. And I'm really excited because next we actually have our leader and EC2, Becky Taylor, that is coming on to share some insights, some wisdom from her experience being here at LifeVantage for over 9 years. But a little bit about Becky. So she's an entrepreneur, a realtor, a community leader, and she has over 22 years of experience as a professional realtor. She's built a successful career in both real estate and in the health and wellness industry, a dedicated wife, mom of 4, proud nana of 9. That is you got your hands full for sure, and I know you love every minute of that. And she and her husband retired, calling Linden, Washington home. So beyond real estate, Becky's a passionate advocate for natural health, active living, and 9 years ago, she discovered LifeVantage. So aligning perfectly with her commitment to wellness, today she enjoys a thriving career in the industry, mentoring others in both health and business. As the host of a Saturday Morning Live, a local talk radio show, and an active community leader, Becky values the freedom of travel, train, and support for others while prioritizing time with her family, which is most important. So I love that you've kept that kind of your piece of, again, what's most important to you, because it absolutely is. Family at the end of the day is really what matters. So I love that you keep that at the forefront of what you do. But we have Becky on here, can see you now. Awesome. And Becky, wanted to first off just thank you for hopping on with us today.
I am absolutely honored and blessed to be here. And you know what, as we say in this industry, because I can. Thank you,
I love that.
LifeVantage, for the freedom you have given me.
Love it. That is awesome. And it was so great. Again, I've been here a little over a month and a half, but it was so great to get to meet you, get to hear about some of your story and really what you value, and really shoot for serving you and your incredible community and your team that you've built. And today, again, we have our ERA acronym, right? So our ERA acronym of enroll, retain, and advance. So talking a little bit and leaning into more of the advanced portion of that on this call. But again, you can't get one without the other, right? So you have to have enrollments. You have to create a great experience for people when they get started to retain and keep them around. Again, in the compound effect, resulting in you actually advancing and moving forward as you continue to be diligent in your effort and build. But you have such an incredible take on how you serve your team and how you show up for them. And I absolutely loved hearing that. So as we close out the month, we have a lot, again, as I just ran through and covered to take advantage of. But what are some of those best practices, or maybe even some of the first areas in your business that you look at when you're looking to close the month with you and your team?
That's such a great question, Victor, and it's something that I would call best practices. And matter of fact, on my other screen over here, I have it pulled up now because when it's actually on the 24th, I began to look, and on the 25th is when it's go time. And thank you to all the tech people at LifeVantage that have created a back office that is navigatable and really easy to go through. But getting into your back office and getting under the reporting and the people, the first thing I do right away is I go look for unsuccessful subscriptions. and I get to see everybody in my downline, in my team, and their customers. So I'm tapping the shoulders of my downline saying, hey, you've got some customers to take care of. And we call it digging for dollars, right? We're going to dig down. That's first thing. But the second thing is we're digging to support our customers. We want to support those people that sometimes they're like, I had no idea that my order didn't go through this month. And you could actually do this on the 5th, the 10th, the 15th, the 20th, and the 25th every month and find out who in your downline has missed their order. I've had more people say, thank you so much. I had no idea that it didn't go through. Now, here's what I say when I reach out. And I've probably reached out to at least 5 of my personal customers that their orders didn't go through. I always say this, how can I help you? And I am here for you. And when you leave them that personal message, give them their ID number. Say, here's your ID number in case you need it to help you log in. How can I help you? And I am here for you. I sign off every message saying that because they want to know that you are not too busy for them. And so this is part of your business. It's a part of the best practices. And I'm not kidding. It helps you maybe cross that next line from onyx to emerald. It helps you cross that line from emerald to sapphire just by going in and making sure that your customers, your downline is all have successful subscriptions. So that's one of my first practices.
That's awesome. No, I love that. And I love, again, how you phrase that is how can I help you? And I'm here for you, right?
Mm-hmm.
Again, showing up in that space to be of service for your team, I think is so massive. And
Mm-hmm.
really getting them, again, maybe even outside of themselves and thinking that it's overwhelming, I can't do it. But showing up in that space for them and really partnering or locking arms, I think is such a massive boost that so many people need.
Mm-hmm.
So I love that you show up for your team in that way because I think it's massive. Like it really makes sure that they know that they are supporting their efforts, but they also have someone rooting them on to
Mm-hmm.
close the month and doing what they can to help them close that gap. So I think that's huge.
I think the second best practice is most important. Well, as important is looking at your seller titles because
Mm.
everybody wants to celebrate that seller title. And last month, for example, when I went through, I had somebody that was $5 below the next possible title. And sometimes especially if they're new, if they're busy, we have a lot of people in this industry in our company that also have other careers, and this is something that they've brought in and they're working alongside of, so maybe they don't have the time to necessarily always go in and know what's going on. She's like, you've got to be kidding, I'm only $5 away, and to say, I know that I can find somebody that wants a bottle of Protandim. So going in and looking at your seller titles and helping your team achieve that, re-achieve that rank, or boost them to the next rank. You guys, we've got 6 days left. You can accomplish miracles in 6 days with your team and with your downline. And so it's really important to get in today. Today is the day that you want to do it. And don't miss that call this afternoon, by the way, the end of the month call. I don't know what the announcement is, but I'm actually very excited for it. So that's part of your best practices as well. Be on those end of the month calls because there's a lot of value that goes into those as well. So that's a little pitch for Skylar for this afternoon.
Hey, I love it. Got to put the plug in. I love that. Thank you. You definitely don't want to miss it because it is going to be a massive announcement and everybody is going to be able to take advantage of what we're rolling out. So cannot wait for that to happen and see how crazy the chats and the comments are because it's huge. So make sure that you don't miss it. One thing I know when we were talking and I loved this piece that we had touched on and you said something and you phrased it, you do emotional checks.
Yes.
And that's such a big piece, right? And again,
Mhm.
feeling overwhelmed towards the end of month, trying to close the gap, trying to hit goals, that gets stressful, right? And being able to, again, maybe recalibrate ourselves in a way that rechecks our emotions and puts us in a space to really say, okay, hey, what is most important and what can I focus on right now to make sure that I'm making the most of what I have in front of me? That's such a big deal for people, and I know I don't do it enough. So it was refreshing to hear that, and that's something that you've incorporated into how you approach again, not just end of month, but working with your team. So what are
Mhm.
some of those emotional checks that you put in place for yourself?
Well, I could do a whole entire training on this one. So I'm going to try to abbreviate some notes, and this is for those of you that have only been here for maybe 1 month to a year. And then also, if you've been in here 5 years to 9 years or beyond, like where I'm in that category, 9+ years, you know, you're full of potential, period. Every one of you are full of potential, and you came here for a reason. And you may feel underwhelmed at times, and it just happens. It's just life that happens. And so, you know, here's some questions to ask yourself. Am I comparing my beginning to someone else's middle? Comparison is the absolute thief of joy, and it's the thief of your own personal momentum. So you've got to, the part of your emotional checkup is, who am I comparing myself to? And that will be the first thing that actually causes a crash in you. So don't compare yourself. You are your own greatest person, and you are exactly where you are meant to be. And another question is, what would success look like to me this week? Success would look like a brand new consultant. Success would look like that next new customer. Then that is your goal for this week. Imagine you get one brand new customer a month. That's 12 new customers a year. And some people are like, well, that's not enough. And others like, that's a lot. That 12 new customers adds up to some good volume and that steady, faithful growth. So, that's another one is, what would success look like? Also, who can I learn from? I learned so much by following others that are doing a great work in this company. Follow them and mimic what they're doing. You see their habits and behaviors that are making them successful. Don't copy verbatim, but mimic what they're doing and edit it to your own taste and then redo what they're doing. Success leaves clues. And so follow those that are leaving those clues along the way. And maybe you've been here. That was for the newer ones that are feeling like, oh, I'm just not as great as so and so. What about if you've been here a while? So, you kind of get to that operating, it's day after day after day, we're doing the same things. So are you operating from inspiration or obligation? You guys, when you operate from inspiration, it gives a whole different energy to your posts. It gives a whole different energy to your conversation with others. And so, what are you operating from? You're like, well, I better do a post today. Well, guess what? That's going to be the tone and the energy of your post. But if you're operating from inspiration that says, I live in a field of diamonds, that field of diamonds is not on the other side of the fence. And if you've been here a while and you're kind of feeling a little laggish, don't go looking over the fence to the grass is greener on the other side. I promise you, 9.5 years I've been here. The grass is green. Start eating it. The diamonds are all over here. The next shiny object, I promise you, is not over there. It's right here in front of you. Start picking up those shiny objects and look at them again. This is why I came here in the first place. These diamonds are exactly why I'm here. And you literally say that to yourself, and you're going to see your whole emotional energy change. Those are just a couple, but that's all I'll leave you with because I don't want to take too long.
No, this is awesome. Honestly, I love the emotional checks piece because again, comparison definitely is the thief of joy. But showing up and realizing what we have to work with in front of us, kind of recalibrating to being present in that moment to who we have to serve, refocusing kind of our efforts, not just how can I help myself, but how can I really show up in a space to serve my team and where they're at. I feel like there's so much power in that, and I know that we connected on this yesterday, but it really is all about the law of attraction, right? Your energy is going to pull into your sphere exactly what you need based on what your output is.
100%. And it is the law of attraction. And if you're not attracted to it, why would you expect anybody else to be? So refresh that. Look at those diamonds in front of you, you guys. It's like, it's huge. It's huge what we have here.
That's awesome. Okay, I love that piece. I know we're wrapping up here,
Mhm.
but I wanted to get in and kind of almost a summary of right now we have 6 days left.
Mhm.
right? So talking about that end of month push, those that are targeting rank, those that are trying to wrap up qualifications for the incentive, what are some things that, again, we can focus on right now, or that you're focused on right now with you and your team,
Mhm.
to close out the next 6 days just of massive all-out action and making sure that we're not leaving anything on the table?
This is as leaders, and if you're leading one person, you're a leader, by the way. I only have one consultant. I only have one person in my team. That's you're leading them. It's going in there. How can I help you? And say, do you have anyone I could jump into a three-way chat with? Sometimes a three-way call, well, I'm sorry, but I think that's a little old school. Maybe some people still do it, but how can drop me into a three-way chat, excuse me, with that person that is just kind of on the fence. How can I help you knock a few people off the fence before the end of the month? Going in and seeing where your team is and saying, hey, you're this close. Where would you like to see yourself in the next 6 days? Let's go there. The only limitation is you. Pop that off your head. Let's go and let's run. 6 days. I have seen people jump entire ranks in 6 days' time. And so if you start today, you can get there. Yeah.
Love it. Thank you so much for that. That's awesome. And again, cannot stress enough, be on tonight's call, because it is absolutely going to accelerate everything that you guys are working towards and all your efforts for the close of this month. So make sure you don't miss it. So thank you so much, Becky. I know one thing that we talked about, a massive piece of importance for you and your team is convention. So how important is convention to you? Maybe what was that experience that really set that perspective for you, that I have to be here every year?
I'm going to agree with you when you said earlier, leaders are born at events. My first event, I sat in the back row with my arms crossed saying, give me one reason to run out of this building because I'm ready. And look at me now. I'm, 9 years later, I went from the back row. Everybody starts as a consultant. If you're a consultant, by the way, I hadn't even seen a pro tandem when I was at my first global event. I hadn't even seen a pro tandem, let alone been a consultant or anything else. I literally came that raw. But look at 9.5 years later, it was the paradigm shift after paradigm shift after aha, after the impact of the stories. Fannie Mae and Benjamin, who sat on stage and she pointed at me and said, what's your excuse? It changed my life at a convention. You have to be at conventions because it will cause you, I promise you. And you can come back to me personally, say, you were wrong, Becky. I didn't get a paradigm shift. You're wrong. I didn't get inspired. Never heard it done. Not one person leaves uninspired. You will leave with the aha. And I want to say, I promise you, if you go to the convention, you will get at least, probably more, one paradigm shift. And paradigm shifts are life altering. It's going from here to here. They are completely life altering. And I get a paradigm shift at every single convention. And I kid you not, it's not because somebody talked about the convention, gave me a convention wrap up, talked about what took place. It's not the same. You've got to show up. Your business depends on it. Your team depends on it. Your future depends on it. Your belief in this company depends on it. And I promise you, your belief will absolutely go through the roof and you will never regret it. And it's a tax write-off. I can say that because it is. So it is really good for business on all levels. So do not miss it. Do not let your team miss it or have an excuse.
That is awesome. Love that. Thank you so much. I mean, again, so many golden nuggets throughout that on why to be there.
Mhm.
I know one thing that you touched on as we wrap up here was, again, your team, sometimes they need to borrow belief, right? They need to borrow your belief until they believe in themselves to push forward towards whatever it is that they're targeting here for their end goal,
Mhm.
or even for that month's goal. So
Mhm.
being able to come and get your cup filled at convention with more belief than you could even ever consider or imagine for yourself, and
Mhm.
some of those moments, those paradigm shifts that you talked about, those very distinct changes in perspective of how I'm approaching things, what's possible for me out there, such key pieces that, again, I've seen it year after year after year, over a decade being in this industry, They happen every single year. So make sure you
Every
don't
year.
miss those.
Hmm.
But wanted to say thank you so much again, Becky, for hopping on with us today. Such a pleasure having you on. Some incredible information that you shared with everybody to close this month out on a strong note. So if you guys have any questions, feel free to contact us, reach out to your sales team, or reach out to your leadership. But looking forward to really, again, one, seeing your guys' reaction after you hop on the call tonight for close of month, but also seeing what happens to close this month out on a strong note as we end March. So thank you again, Becky. I hope you guys have a great rest of your Tuesday, and we'll see you next week. Thank you.